Hey, welcome back to Fantasy Dream Homes. We're heading up north today to Toronto, Ontario. It's a cosmopolitan happening city. Let's go. Okay, are you ready to go to Toronto? Let's head in for a look here, shall we? And here we go. And I'm going to stop here for a second, and I'm going to stop right there. So, Toronto is part of Ontario. It's the province of Ontario. And what a lot of people don't realize about Canada and a lot of these provinces is how huge they are. So, I'm just going to speak for Ontario right now. Just to give you the size, Ontario is approximately the same size as the state of Texas, the state of Oklahoma, and the state of Kansas put together. It's way bigger than the state of Texas. If in European equivalent, it is bigger than the countries of France, Germany, and Switzerland put together. It's a really big piece of land, this province. And Toronto sits right on Lake Ontario, of all places. And it sits on the north side towards the western part of Lake Ontario. So let's go in for a closer look. And one of the other things I wanted to show you, because Toronto is a big metropolitan city, approximately 2.7 million people, but when you refer to the GTA, as they call it, the Greater Toronto Area, it's more like about 6 million people. It's a decent sized city. So, and a little bit bigger than Miami in the United States here. So, I wanted to show you, this is what's cool about Google Earth. So, here we're looking at the flat city as we see it. But then, if you come over here and you turn on 3D buildings, boom! And here's where it makes a difference. Let's zoom in on the financial district of Toronto. Whoa! See the depth we're getting with the buildings? Whoa! That's a cool way to explore a city. It's fun to look at the CN Tower. Here it is right here. You can't see it, can you? But you will in a second. You can see it's... let me turn this off a second. See its shadow. Okay, so there's the shadow of the CN Tower. So it's right here, okay? And this is Rogers Center. This is where the Toronto Blue Jays, the Major League Baseball team, plays. All right, so let's click this, and we're gonna zoom in now. Watch. Wait. Whoa! Hey, we're right on top of the building. Now I'll tell you something that's cool. I would love to try it. You can actually go up to the CN Tower, and it's right here somewhere. The rest is all communication towers. But you can go up here. Yeah, there's like a, I don't want to call it a balcony, but this, I think you pay a considerable fee or whatever. But what you can do is you come out this doorway here. I think it's this doorway, and you are chained. They chain you. Not chain you. They take a clip, a bit like a belt clip, and they clip you on this thing. It's a body harness, and they let you hang over the edge with just your feet, and you're leaning out way over the edge for basically for a thrill. And I would actually like to try it. I'd probably be terrified, but it still would be cool to do. But so, a few facts about Toronto. It's a very cosmopolitan, metropolitan city. I thought this was interesting. It's the indigenous peoples have traveled through and inhabited the Toronto area, situated on broad sloping plateau interspersed with rivers, deep ravines, and urban forests for more than 10,000 years. That's kind of amazing, don't you think? The diverse population of Toronto reflects its current and historical role as an important destination for immigrants to Canada, with over 50% of residents belonging to a visible minority population group and over 200 distinct ethnic origins represented among its inhabitants. While the majority of Torontonians speak English as their primary language, over 160 languages are spoken in the city. That is cool. I mean, as the French say, and let's see, Vive la de France. And let's see how good you can actually.
Vive la France. Vive la France.
Yes. Good for you, Canada. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple homes here. And I looked at a whole bunch of different websites. I got to tell you, Canada, you got to get better with the real estate websites. I think it has to do with the MLS system. They don't like to share information, and so I don't know if you're going to have to find a way to change that. But what is going on with Toronto? Because I just want to show you something. So let's take a look at this first home. We're just going to take a brief look. So let's go in, and this particular website's called Redpin. Okay, so photos are on the smallish side, but they're good photos. Okay, so we see a kitchen, another kitchen. Okay, what are we seeing here? We're seeing a lot of white here, aren't we? Lots of white. Okay, let's go on to the next home. Click and zoom this up and click. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing a lot of white. What the heck is going on in Toronto? So I thought this was just an anomaly. So click, let's close that. And I just started going through home after home. Click, click, click. Look at this. Look at all the white. What is going on with all the white in Toronto? Close that one up. Open this home. These are different homes. Click, click, click. Come on. I mean, is there it's like a Woody Allen movie from one of his early movies. There's so much white and all these homes. Click, close that one up. And the other thing I'm noticing is that for a city with the real estate prices that are as high as they are, when you go to put in your maximum amounts, so if I put in, it stops at 2.4 million. Now you can click any price, but it's like, are you kidding me? I did a little research and found that the average price of real estate in Toronto is about 800, and I think it was 890,000, so about 900,000. And you're putting 2.4 million as your ceiling? Why don't these real estate websites put it up to a $10 million ceiling? Because there's plenty of properties like that. Look, 19, 18, 17. Why are you putting a ceiling of 2.4 million? Just curious. All right, so let's go on. Let's look at this one. I'm just going to be really brief. Okay, click, click. Now we're seeing some beige, at least in this one. All right, so this one's got some color. Let's go back and look at that one. Boom, boom. See all the white? What's with all the white? What is going on in Toronto? Can somebody explain that to me? So anyway, regardless, let's get on to our first home. And I'm telling you, this is house number 1. It's going for about 9 million Canadian dollars. 4 beds, 7 baths, and I'll put the conversions up, for the 9 million, 8.995 million Canadian dollars. 4 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. And another thing I noticed is they put the lot size. Well, I suppose you would in a city. You wouldn't really put acres, would you? Because you're not even close to being an acre. In this particular case, you're 4/10 of an acre. Also, I'm noticing that nobody puts build dates. Really? That's not important to anybody in Canada? Are you kidding me? If they call this one a custom chateau, it's located on a quiet cul-de-sac, and that's bonus right there. I've lived on a cul-de-sac, and I love living on cul-de-sacs because they are quiet. Backing on to the renowned St. George's Golf Course. So, let's pull up the address here. And here we go to our first home. And there's the St. George's Golf Course. You can see it all over the place, right? And here's your cul-de-sac. It stops with a little turnaround. Great streets to live on. Okay, so 4/10 of an acre. Small lot. You're going to have a beautiful backyard. If the trees, I don't know, they're probably obstructing the view. But not a lot to see there. So more features of the property. Huge underground garage. It's got an in-ground pool. Let's see. It has an elevator shaft up 3 levels. Hey, for those of us who don't like to climb stairs, right? Have a house with an elevator. Dual-sided wine room. Stately living and dining room with servery. I didn't know what servery meant, so I looked it up. It says a counter service hatch or room from which meals are served. And still I thought, well, what does that mean? So I went to Google Images. And these are pictures of serveries. So it's like, what? So there's like a little cafe inside of the house? With cash register and everything? I didn't know. So we're going to wait and see because I haven't looked through it yet. I don't know what they mean when they say servery. Outdoor pavilion with kit and fireplace. And right there, kit and fireplace. Typically when you say a kit and fireplace, it's a do-it-yourself fireplace kit that you put together. So I don't know if that's a Canadian thing or if it's just this real estate agent. It's basically an outdoor fireplace, okay? So that's the description. And oh, by the way, I just found this really interesting before we want to close this. So when I was reading this description, I'm looking at this going, oh my God, this woman capitalized every single word at the beginning of the word. She capitalized every single word. Do you know how long it must take to type that way? Capitalize. 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 Canada. You usually see this in titles, not in whole paragraphs, but I'm just remarking on that. Okay, so onward. Let's take a look at this property. Enough of my criticisms. Okay, so I have one more criticism, and this is Realtor.ca. I don't think they have any affiliation with Realtor.com in the United States here. I think they're 2 different companies. The pictures are too small, and then they put their logo up here blocking out part of the image. Make it smaller, but make the image bigger. You're cheating. You want homeowners to be able to sell their properties, the sellers, they want to have, I guarantee you, they want as big an image as they can get. So why are you compromising on website real estate here, so to speak? All right, so there's your outside of your home. There's your in-ground pool. Let's keep going. And they describe this as French, as custom chateau. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so there's your interior grounds, I guess you would call those, even though it's outside. There's your in-ground pool. You know, small. That's nice, though. Nice stone. I mean, the gardening here is exceptional. And you're looking at the golf course in the background, so wouldn't that be something to have a golf course? So here's your pavilion, your outdoor pavilion. Gorgeous woodwork. I mean, you normally never see a pavilion that's this fancy. Those are huge beams. Huge. And this is a full, appears to be a full outside kitchen. Let's keep going. Golf course, St. George's, I guess. Okay, so we're starting to see lots of white again, but look at the beautiful woodwork. I love that. That's gorgeous. Beautiful chandeliers. The flooring is gorgeous. Formal living room. You know, it's quite nice, no doubt about it. And I'm guessing we're probably looking. So there's your formal dining room, and these light fixtures are all very, very pretty. Nice wood floors. Just, I love, you know, the paneling on the walls. It's all over the place. It looks really good. Here's your kitchen, and so there's your big sink, your main sink, and plenty of food prep area. That's good. You know, look at how when you have a formal chandelier, two formal chandeliers over your food prep area, you don't see that very often. It's so, I don't know, for me, and I wanted to show you something. This is an expand button. Let me click it and show you what happens. Yes, you got it right. The picture actually gets smaller when you hit the expand button. So we'll hit escape, and we'll hit the non-expand. Nice double wall oven. I like the trim. That's a warming drawer, I'm pretty sure. There's your fridge right there. Okay, so now we're looking the other way. We were standing over here, now we're over here. And there's your bar seating right there. Nice. And, you know, I love it when you do this with vent hoods. You disguise them with the beautiful paneling. I mean, it's gorgeous. And it's just so, but it's so formal. Do you really want a kitchen to be this formal looking? You feel like you have to wear a suit and tie to go into the kitchen. Okay, so you don't see this very often. So here you have a round, dining set with a round wood table, very, elegant table, and then you have what I would call lattice work. Okay. But it's also called trellis, and the reason I say that is because I actually looked it up, because I actually have not seen this in the interior of a home. So there's this article here in Apartment Therapy, written by a Ms. Bree, I believe that's Diaz, an old school design feature that's making a comeback. And this was written last year, okay, about not quite a year ago, okay? So here you have that same look. Whether you call it lattice, trellage, or more French, pick your poison, whatever you want to say it. The look of lattice work layered over an interior wall has always been a favorite. Popularized by the fabulous Elise de Wolfe in the early the late 19th century, the style fell out of fashion for its formal feel. And this is apparently a drinking room. I actually read this a little bit earlier, a drinking parlor. It's also a decor technique that can be tricky to master. I think many of us will recall the brief 90s revival that was perhaps fueled by do-it-yourself shows on the Discovery Channel. Yet, when done professionally, it's gorgeous, though undeniably aspirational. Take this elegant space in a private home by designer Margaret Bosby-Shell. And that's this one right here. Okay? Yeah, this one. Don't give me a chance to look at it. Okay, and she says, where did it go? Where did it go? Technically, the room is a ladies' drinking parlor, which might be one of the most delightful sounding ideas for an extra room in a fabulous estate. The trellised white-on-white wall and ceiling add a little architecture interest without overwhelming the room. Okay? And then she talks about this one here. And this is in a... Nathan Turner uses a gray-blue trellis and overlays in this powder room, showing how brilliantly trellisage can work in small rooms. Though it would be a lot of look in a bigger room, it somehow doesn't feel very busy in the pint-sized space. Perhaps it's due to the uniform color of all dimensional elements and the subtle contrast of the wall color. Okay, so there you go. And this is the powder room. I never say powder room, but whatever. And then you've got this one right here. I'm just trying to be, fair about this. This bright and open solarium seen in Southern Living was a formerly closed up home office. Layering lattice work over a mirrored wall made the small space appear even larger. And I'm not going to read the whole article, but here I'll let you. So apparently this is layered over a mirrored wall. Okay. And I'll take you. There's a picture there, and like I said, I'll put the article, the link to the article in the show notes. It's just all I'm saying. Not one of my favorites. This is something I'd rather see outside, in a garden or something, not on an interior wall. But that's me. That's what, again, vive la différence. It's what makes the world great, because we all have, different styles and tastes and etc. Moving on. And here's your wine cellar. And it's a shame that this picture is so small, because I'd like, and this is the degree of formality you have. They're putting a painting in this narrow little room, a full-size painting on the wall. You know what I mean? I mean, how often do you see that? Okay, so now we're getting to a more relaxed room that I could feel comfortable in. Huge vaulted ceilings. Look at the size of those beams. And they're very ornate. Stone fireplace. Got your TV in the optimal position. Get rid of the chandelier. It's too formal for this room. Okay, so gorgeous woodwork. Now, this, I wonder if they had a carpenter come in and do this after the fact. We don't know when the house was built. So, did they have them come in so that you could inset the TV inside this gorgeous, gorgeous woodwork? I mean, it's beautiful. And that's your two-sided fireplace, isn't it? I love two-sided fireplaces. And look at that door. Look at that giant, that's a window. That's a window. That's not an opening, that's a window, I think. A floor-to-ceiling window. It's a gorgeous couch, by the way. Okay. Frosted glass. So, what are we frosting there? Is that a shower? Then what's this about? I don't know. I guess I'm not going to know. That's, is that a toilet in there? You're frosting on the, I don't know. I'm guessing this is a walk-in closet. And this is a vanity area right here. And on the other side, there's a chair right there. Yeah, you can see the legs of a chair. So that's a tiny little vanity table. And I'm sure all of this room is a walk-in closet. Okay. And again, we're so formal here. It's crazy. And don't you love all the white everywhere? This is a Toronto thing, I'm thinking. Just let's put white on in every room we can. I can't figure this out. Wow. That's the underground garage? Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. That's, why not? If you're in the city, and let's look at a property from above, you got real limited space in your driveway. Well, don't worry about it. Just park, build a whole lower floor where you park, up to 7 cars. And, oh, by the way, I think they did tell us, I'm not going to close this, but I think they said this is something like, well, that's the last picture anyway. So, that's another criticism. They don't tell you how many photos. Here down in the description it said, total parking spaces, 16. Well, you can, if you're your car collector, this place could work out just fine for you. What we're going to do now is take a look at some images of Toronto. I think a lot of people fail to realize what a big city Toronto is, and what a beautiful city it is. So that's Rogers Center. That's home of the Toronto Blue Jays Major League Baseball team. And skyscrapers everywhere you look. These are beautiful shots of the lake. That's the CN Tower, probably the 5th largest building in the world, and it's one of the tallest buildings in North America. These condominiums all have, they're well over $1 million each, with spectacular views of the lake and the city. When you're up this high, I'll tell you, this is where I want to live. This is beautiful up here. I want mine to be facing the lake, Lake Ontario. 11 stories high is good enough for me. They say that's as high as the fire department can get. But very cosmopolitan, happening city. These are obviously drone shots. You can tell because they're too smooth to be anything else. We'll be seeing, oh, gorgeous, isn't it? We'll be seeing helicopter shots shortly. Beautiful, beautiful city. It's got so much going for it. Okay, now we're dealing with helicopter shots, and you can tell we're bouncing all over the place. And when you just, they're constantly refocusing. It's a very impressive skyline, isn't it, though? There's skyscrapers everywhere. They're big, tall buildings all over the place. And it's the city just goes on and on and on and on. It's just, and they're clumps. It just goes in clumps. Like, you know, it's just, it's a big, big city. There's the CN Tower. You don't get credit on the websites for whatever reason. A lot of the websites forget to mention you as one of the tallest buildings in the world. I think it's the 5th tallest building. Okay, so now let's take a look at our next property. And it's right out of the downtown area. Not too far. And if I read correctly, this is in another cul-de-sac. So it's on this street, which ends right here. So it's going to be another quiet street. Now this is jam-packed in here. When I see it this tight, you basically got, let's take a look at our house 2 description. So this one's going for 6.988 million Canadian dollars. These are we're in Canada now, so we're displaying this in Canadian dollars. So I'll display the conversions to our all our cool countries. And there's, I'm sure at some point I'm gonna have to do more conversions than this. 3 bedrooms, 6 baths. It's about 1/10 of an acre. See, it's a small lot. And again, we don't know when it was built. But when I see it this tightly packed in, I want to get a look closer down. So we're going to go down on the street. So let's drop our little man there. And let's take a look, make sure we're in the right place. Yep, that's our house. So let's take a look around the street. So you got a house, I mean, that thing is not even 20 feet apart, right? Well, let's go down the street just a hair. Ah! See, I already went too far. That's about 5 feet. That's crazy. I'd be claustrophobic. I'm sorry, that is too close in my book. In other words, if I'm this close, I'm not going outside at all. What's the point? You're right up against your neighbors. Now they have some space between them, but this is your neighborhood, and you're on a red brick street. Check that out. You ever drive on red brick? It makes a loud humming noise, you know, like that when you drive across. It's kind of cool. So there's our house. That's about all we need. It's got a nice huge tree in the front yard, but it's not like you're really going to spend a lot of time in your yard, right? You mow that with a hand mower. It's, you know, so here's the front view, which we just saw. Okay, it says a 2-sided fireplace. It's got 12-foot ceilings. Walnut panel library, glass framed wine cellar, heated limestone and hardwood floors. Oh, I love heated floors. A Scavellini kitchen. I didn't know what a Scavellini kitchen was, so I looked it up. And Scavellini kitchen is actually a brand name, and they're out of Italy. Surprise, surprise. And they do kitchens, and they do living rooms and bathrooms, and they also do furnishings. So, and I'll put the website address in the show notes. But just to give you an idea, you know, they tend to be very, you know, Art Deco-ish. But they do have different designs. Let's click on the kitchens here. And you can see they have, they have lots of different designs. And they've been in business since the 80s. And so there you have it. I can't really tell you a lot about them, besides the fact that they're Italian and they're, they've been in business for a while. But they have some very interesting looking kitchens, and I'm sure this brand name is popular with a lot of people. It was new to me, but not anymore. So let's keep going. So I love the artwork on the walls, by the way. And this is some beautiful stone here. Let's keep going. Okay, so again, we're seeing lots of white, and there's some beige here too. There's a two-sided fireplace. Very nice. Very nice looking. That is an enormous sofa. That has to be 15 feet long. And I don't think it's the camera. I think it's just a really big... Oh, it's a sectional. Okay. Yeah, you can order... There are companies like Klausner comes to mind. They're one of the biggest furniture manufacturers out of North Carolina. You can order stuff like this. It's just huge. And that's the kitchen back there. So we're in the same room. Okay, let's get and that's, this is a very contemporary dining room. And I'm not sure contemporary is the right word. How about uncomfortable? I'm just looking at this. It's so sterile. Seriously, these people don't cook in here. They can't. Why would you... It's just, what can I say? It's just not my taste. It's one of those places again where you're afraid to, oh my God, you spilled grape juice. It's never going to come out of that stone. It's there permanently. You're not supposed to drink in here. Go to a restaurant to drink. This is for looking. See, you got your microwave down here where it's impossible. You got to bend over to get the microwave. I like things that are ergonomically, pleasing or comforting, where they're easy to get to. Now, that is a really cool staircase. I gotta give them credit there. I love those great, big, grand staircases. Well, library with a gorgeous skylight. Gorgeous skylight. Again, the white everywhere. White, white, white. What is it, Toronto? Tell us, people. Tell us. We want to know what's with all the white everywhere. This is a master bedroom, I guess. Master bathroom. Ugh. I'm telling you, this style is just, to me, this is the kind of thing the architects do all the time. I don't know what it is. They can't do comfort and artisticness at the same time. They always do these super flat surfaces, and they love these colors too. I'm thinking the architect just drew it, and they liked the architect's renderings so much they didn't even hire a designer to go, gee, maybe you'd like how about some mauve in here, or just how about some color? Well, it looks like we're not in white anymore. It looks like this could be a beige tone. Gorgeous wood floor. Surprised they didn't paint that white. Why did you paint the floor white? You kidding? And these are built-in bookcases that are, which kind of don't make sense with this beige color. You got the white with the rest of the house. I'm surprised. Why didn't you paint these walls white too? So a guest bedroom. Built-in bookcases. These are all, you have your own private bathroom in your guest bedroom, or children's bedroom, or whatever. So they got it wrong there. I've said it before. Yes, a painting does look good above a fireplace, But I don't know what it was with this leaning stuff. You have to lean it on the floor and lean it. Why not just hang it? Is that much trouble to put a tack up on the wall and hang the thing? Do you have to lean everything? And you got two focal points. You got a TV over here, and you got a fireplace over here. So, wait, we're going to look here. No, we're going to look over here. Because we got a fire going, and the TV's on. So I got to look here. No, I got to go look here. No, I got to look here. Now you put the TV up here. Just put the TV up here. Put this painting over here. It will all be fine. Next. Okay. So that's some interesting stone we got going on there. Backyard garden. Nice. Oh, we're done? No, we're not done. Okay. Outdoor fireplace. Nice fountain. Interesting fountain. Well, little fountains are always good. That's it. That's for that kind of money. We didn't get to see a lot of pictures. I swear they must be charging these real estate agents serious bucks to put the pictures on, or I don't know why. I just don't see enough photos, you know, considering the price of these properties. So, Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. Cool place, huh? Cool homes. What did you think? Wow, Toronto, Ontario, what an amazing city, isn't it? Very cosmopolitan, very happening town. Well, I'm glad you watched and hope you can subscribe and become a member of our community. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Take care and keep smiling. Bye-bye.